So, okay, so this, we'll do one later. So, so go ahead. So just hold Shift K down and then press F9. Go whenever you want. And by the way, sorry, what is your question?
Next place in the world to journey.
Say again?
Next place in the world. Next and best place in the world to journey. To go.
To go. The journey. Oh, I'm sorry. I said the journey. Okay.
So
This is hard to get specific and so on, but let's see what it gives you. Shift F9. Opposition. Why don't you read it? Tell me what you think.
Yes.
Let's keep it in the perspective that it's a training exercise for one. For two, the question you ask is it's a very, very specific question, like because you're asking for like the actual place on the map, so to speak, right? It's hard to get because you're not really. It's not going to give you like a name of the place because it's not designed. It's not embedded in it, right? So keeping all this in mind, it's up to you how you want to interpret the answer. But if you ask about the kind of the energy surrounding the question, and then the general kind of like what comes out of it, we can talk about it. Again, there's a for illustrative purposes only. So if somebody came to me with this and had this kind of my first reaction, maybe it's a good time not to go anywhere, right? And there are reasons for that. So you can leave it at that. You can say, well, is it really something I need to do to go somewhere and travel, right? Or is it something I need to deal with here today? Because maybe I'm misunderstanding my current position and what I need to do. So, in other words, it's hard to really give a crystal clear answer here, but it really creates an opportunity for conversation, either with yourself, really kind of like, okay, let me see what I really have, right? Or with somebody else, right? Kind of sit down and talk. And then what it really says in terms of bullets comes a signal that you are resisting life and preventing your own progress.
Are you running from reality or running from
Right,
reality?
you can interpret it now, right? You can start by kind of getting to what does it mean to me? Like in your case, you had a lot of specific ideas.
Right.
And how's your name? Sorry.
Ali,
yeah. So in Ali's case, it could be something else, right? Maybe you plan to travel somewhere. Maybe you just ask questions random, like I don't know, it's your story, right? But at the end it says, whatever is happening. Well, every moment in a person's life contains the teachings he or she needs most of the time. One thing to think of is that people tend to travel, I'm doing my hard work today, I'm working really hard, but when I travel, I'm going to really have a good time, and this is time what I live for. The reality is that time will pass really quickly, but what you really need to enjoy is like that all the time you're preparing for that vacation. So for example, one of the most, I read somewhere that's interesting, that vacation tends to be the most stressful times in people's lives because there's so much expectation on having a good time that if you don't, you're like something's wrong with you. So that's what I read. I agree. And then whatever is happening now is what must happen. Our task is to allow the lesson to seep in. We can go really, really deep into this if you want, into like Taoist, Buddhist philosophy and karma, incarnation, and stuff like. So what's happened to them? What's the meaning of that? And that's why it's so interesting because you can do it here, you can go deeper. It's up to you, but that's the way it can take you. You okay? Okay. So I just want to illustrate. Thank you for volunteering. But again, don't take it like as a sign not to go.
I actually know what it means. Like not know, but I actually have a strong idea.
That's the most important thing. Sometimes you keep it to yourself.
Right.
You don't have to share.
It's personal.
Yeah. So in general, does this make sense? You understand what I mean, kind of, right? So the other way to derive that hexagram is by using points is a traditional method, and their method is described here. Like if you get the book, right, it's not my book, I'm not promoting it, you can look it up online, it's like $8. But really fun investment. And then you can kind of learn how to do it, and you can do it yourself, right? So, so the next few minutes, I'm going to just really highlight something else and wrap up. So maybe I have to go back.
Do you list the book in this slide?
Yes.
Okay.
The last page.
So one of the messages I have to zip through that I didn't expect to go through this because time is too short. One of the key messages from the I Ching is the fact that life is a product. Any event in life can be described as a product of the external and internal forces, right? There's always external reality, there's our internal attitude, internal kind of some kind of forces which drive us. It doesn't have to be you personally. It could be this room versus the outside, right? It could be this country versus the world. There's always balance of the opposites. So if you want to understand a little better the strategy for dealing with change, going back to the topic, it's helpful to be aware of these two components and really try to divide the situation into these two domains.